My name is Sarah Franzak. I'm an environmental management educator with Michigan State University Extension. Um, I'm here with Connor Crank, and she's going to be doing the presentation today. We're going to be covering CANMaPP, which is the Computer Assisted Nutrient Management Planning Program. And if you haven't already, go ahead and navigate to this website. If you might be able to follow along with us. There are a few things that you have to fill in rather quickly to kind of keep things moving, but I'm sure Connor will explain some of those. If you've got like an extra 590 just laying around, you can probably upload that pretty easily. So I'm going to let Connor take over, and we'll keep going.
Thanks, Sarah. Hey, everyone. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us today. Like Sarah said, my name is Connor Crank. I am the project coordinator for the Institute of Water Research at MSU. So I'm going to be doing a live demonstration of how to use CANMaPP. CANMaPP is an online tool that assists with the implementation and documentation of nutrient management plans. It was created in 2019 in an effort to generate standardized documents that producers and crop advisors can share with the NRCS in order to help showcase the implementation of your nutrient management plan. So CANMaPP is really useful in the verification process, and it's also really helpful for the NRCS in issuing payments. All right, so I'm going to turn my video off because I'm going to start the demo here. So if you want to go ahead and navigate to this page, like Sarah said, it's iwr.msu.edu/CANMaPP. I will say that you will be able to follow along to a point, but if you don't have an NRCS 590 spreadsheet saved on your computer, that would make it tough to follow along for the whole thing, but you can follow along up until that point. So once you get to this page, you do need to create an account in order to use this online tool. The only piece of information that you need to sign up is an email address. So you don't need to provide your first name or last name or telephone number or any other contact information other than just a working email address. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. So the first page that you land on when you log in is the dashboard. And here you're going to find a summary of the information on any of the fields that you've already input information on, any of your nutrient management plans, and then your calendars, upcoming events, and all of your accounts' recent history right here. So the big thing here is importing nutrient management plans. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with that. So you want to navigate to field plans over in this menu on the left. And then if you want to create a new plan, go ahead and select that. So unfortunately, something that the IWR has been working on, but we haven't reached that milestone yet. This application currently doesn't allow users to start from scratch in creating a nutrient management plan. You have to download a blank copy of the NRCS 590 spreadsheet in Excel, which is freely available easily online. And then you would have to enter your data into that Excel spreadsheet, and then you can upload it into CANMaPP. So continue. So you have the option to give a name to a new project or add your nutrient management plan to an existing project. So I'm going to go ahead and create a whole new one. I'll call it Demo 11. And then you have to give a name for the specific plan, because you can put multiple plans into one project if you're doing multiple fields. So for this field, I will also call it, how about Demo 11 field. And then you need to assign a year to the plan that you're uploading. So let's say 2020. It's going to ask you who approved the plan. So I'll just go ahead and say that Joe approved the plan, and he approved it, how about a week ago? So now you have to upload your NRCS 590 spreadsheet from Excel. I have mine saved on my desktop, so let me just find it in my millions of files here. So you just want to select that and then click continue. The project that I want to look at is field fertilizer. So you want to pull your workbook name from your Excel spreadsheet, and then you kind of want to click around over here where it says review the uploaded contents and make any necessary adjustments. Just take a quick look, make sure that all of your purposes and your field conditions look appropriate, because there may be an occasional issue pulling something from Excel where something didn't transfer over exactly correctly. So just take a quick look, make sure your numbers look right. So thankfully, everything looks good here. So I'm going to go ahead and say create plan. So you can add a nutrient management plan to a field that you already have in your account. So say you created a new nutrient management plan for the year 2021, but you're applying it to a field that you've already added into the system for a previous year. If that's the case, you go through the steps that I just did, but then you want to go over here, fields already in your account, and you can just scroll through, pick the field that you want to apply it to, click add, and then save and continue. But for the demo, I am going to assign my nutrient management plan to a new field. So you can navigate to your field either just by scrolling around and zooming in or out, or you can type in an address. So I am going to do a field at KBS. So now that I've navigated to my field, you want to go ahead and highlight. This is the draw field button up here in the right-hand corner. You want to click that and then just start outlining your field boundaries by clicking around. And then when you're done creating your polygon, it can have as many sides, different kinds of shapes as you want. But when you're done, you just double click, and that will save, your field shape. Then we're going to go ahead, and since this is a new field, you're going to want to assign it a name just so that you can identify it later if you ever want to go back and change any information or add further nutrient management plans in the future. So I'm going to do, how about field demo 11? And then save and continue. It'll ask you if you want to add any setbacks. I don't want to, but you're welcome to. So that is all that you need to do initially to create your nutrient management plan and get it uploaded into CANMaPP. But next, we're going to have CANMaPP take that Excel spreadsheet, the NRCS 590 spreadsheet, and we're going to take it a little bit further by adding some more plan details. So let's go to add plan details. So we have a lot of different options available to you on this page. So we want to add some details relating to the field that we just put into the system. So if you go ahead and click on the field, it takes you to all of your nutrient management plan data for that specific field. And now you can go ahead and add actual numbers, because the data that was pulled from that Excel spreadsheet, those were your planned nutrient management plans. But then, once you have actual implemented data, then you can go ahead and add that. So let's do edit plan data. And sorry, my screen for some reason scrunches this up. It doesn't look like this on other people's computers, but for some reason it does on mine, so I apologize. But once we get to this edit plan data screen, we're going to go through all of these different fields and put our actual implemented information. So we planned to do corn grain. Let's say that we did plant corn grain as we wanted to. Let's say that our yield was what we had anticipated or planned for. Let's say that we were right on schedule with planting and harvesting. So I'm just going to go ahead and put in some dates here. Let's say our planned planting date was April 5th of 2020. April 5th is my birthday. So, and let's say that we were right on schedule and we did end up planting that corn on April 5th of 2020. And our harvest date, we expected to be able to harvest on September 1st of 2020. And we were again right on schedule, September 1st. And let's say that we were doing conventional tillage. We had a soil test done. The test date was pulled from our Excel spreadsheet. And then we can move on to our fertilizer application and manure application information. So I'm going to say that for my plans, both of the types of fertilizers were implemented as planned. So I'll go ahead and fill in the details here. Let's say that the starter fertilizer was planned to be implemented on April 10th. And we were right on time again because we're super on top of it. And we did urea for our starter at a rate of 50 pounds per acre. And that was our starter. And then for our broadcast fertilizer, we had planned on implementing that on April 20th. We were on time. Obviously, your implemented rates may not always match up with your planned. So however, things worked out for you, you can go ahead and put that in. You can also add, if you did additional fertilizer, you can add as many fertilizer records as you need. And it's worth mentioning that if you did some kind of custom mix of fertilizer, you don't necessarily have to choose from the ones that we've preset in this drop-down menu. You can choose custom and put in, whatever you ended up using. So for the demo, I'm just going to leave it with these two, but you can put in as many as you need to. For the manure, let's say that our planned application date was, how about May 15th? And then you have to put in the type of manure. So you have to specify how many acres the manure was applied to. You can see up here how many acres the field is that you selected. And obviously you have to put in a number for the implemented rate of manure application that's lower than the total acres of your field. So for the purposes of this demo, I'm going to say that we had planned on applying 79 pounds per acre of manure, but let's say we actually ended up applying 60 pounds per acre. We had planned on applying that manure to the full 3 acres, but we only ended up applying it to 2. And I'm just doing that to show you how that will change some of the numbers in the report that will run after we're done here. So go ahead and save your edits. And once you do that, you get back to this kind of overview of your field, and you can see here that our implemented values are lower than our planned values. And that's a result of the lower implemented rate of manure application than what we had originally planned in our nutrient management plan. So those numbers will be generated based off of, you know, your actual implemented values of everything that you put into that plan. Some other cool things that you can do for your field. Sorry, you can't see this better because it's all scrunched up, but you can add field notes right here. So that'll be added into the nutrient management report that you can print off. Another thing that farmers had asked us to include are the CLUs. So you can add in some CLU IDs with commas. Unfortunately, we can't pull them directly ourselves because we don't have access to that data. But if you want that to be noted in your report, then you can add that in for your field right here. Okay, so now that we have all of our details for this nutrient management plan for this field, we can generate some reports that are going to help us in the documentation of this nutrient management plan. Before I move on to generating a report for this field that I just added in, I want to show you one other handy thing that you can do here, which is the calendar. If you navigate to your calendar over on the left-hand side here, it shows you all of your upcoming planned planting, harvesting, fertilizing, and manure application dates for all of your nutrient management plans and all of the fields that you've put in here. So this definitely can be increasingly helpful as you enter more plans and more fields into this CANMaPP system. It's a handy tool. So I'm going to go back to the dashboard or the home page here. And you can see that all of my, or the field that I just added, which was demo 11, something like that. All of that recent activity has been updated to include all of the new information that I just added. So the big thing is being able to generate a report. So you're going to want to go to the Reports tab over here in the main menu. And then you need to select the nutrient management plan. So mine was demo 11. And then you need to select the year, and you can generate reports for more than 1 year. If you want to create a comprehensive report for multiple years, you just hold Control while you select the years that you want to have included in that report. And you also want to select the field that you want that report to be run for. And again, if you want your report to include multiple fields, multiple years, you can do that. You just need to hold Control while you're selecting whatever you want to be included for that nutrient management report. So there are a couple of different types of reports that you can generate. I'm just going to go through all of them with you real quick. Most of them are pretty short. So let's do nutrient budget organized by field. See if I can get that to show the whole thing. There we go. So this will give you, I think this was by year or field, I don't remember, year. You can click on the year and get your entire nutrient budget report for each of the fields that you put in here. So that was, the page that we were just looking at before. It's kind of helpful. Go back. You can also get that nutrient budget or organized by field or organized by year. You can get a report that goes through your plan consistency, which basically shows you a breakdown of the differences between your planned and implemented data. For the demo that I just did, there's only really one discrepancy, I think, which was there was a slightly lower level of manure application, but yeah. And then the big thing, the most helpful thing for bringing into the NRCS field office would be this detailed report. So while this downloads, I'll just kind of talk to you about it a little bit. This is going to generate a PDF file that contains all of the information available about your field. So once this is complete, an email containing this report will automatically be sent to the email address that's associated with your account. You can also download it directly from this page where it says, click here to download the report. So the report is pretty easy to read. It's going to break down each of your fields with your nutrient budget. It's going to give you a map of your field with the total acreage and what type of crop you were planting. Any of your field notes, any of your CLUs that you wanted to be included are going to be listed in here. And then it gives you all of the information on your crop production plans, your fertilizer application, your manure application, any of the discrepancies in your plans versus what you actually implemented. So that makes it really easy for the NRCS to know that maybe you had planned on doing something, but you ended up implementing a little bit more or a little bit less. Really easy to read. Makes it a lot easier for them to, use this in your verification process. So those are the main features of CANMaPP. I will also show you that if you go to the main header and click on About, it gives you a pre-recorded version of this webinar by Glenn O'Neill, who is the one who was pretty vital in creating CANMaPP, and he goes through about a 30-minute demo of the same things that I just went over. So if you ever need a refresher, this is a great place to come back and walk through it again. And if you ever have any questions about anything, you are welcome to contact me. Again, my name is Connor Crank, or you can go to the contact section here. And Glenn's information is listed here. Feel free to reach out to him, or Jeremiah, the assistant director, is also a great contact to get in touch with if you have any questions about CANMaPP. So that's it for my demonstration.
All right. If you guys can unmute, you can unmute yourselves and talk, or if you want to put into chat any kind of questions you want to ask today. Our session next week will be a troubleshooting session. Glenn will be there to answer your questions. Like if you play around with this sometime this week and you're like, wow, I just can't, then you should come back next week, ask us those questions, let us know how SAIS and CANMaPP and Enviro Impact are working for you. If you have any issues, that really gives us good feedback on how we can change and update the programs to make them more useful. I'm going to put up a poll, and I'd like you to take that, please, before you head out. Thinking if I missed anything. Connor, did I miss anything?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Thanks for coming today. And like I said, I'd it's really helpful if you fill out these polls for us, because we can start to shape our educational programs so they fit your needs better.
Absolutely.